And tonight's show, as I said, is dedicated to the St. Patrick's Day Committee, and I'm pleased to be joined by the General Chairman, Mr. Gene Sully. Welcome to the show.
Mayor.
And to this year's Grand Marshal, Mr. Jim Lowney Sr. Jim, welcome to the show.
Good evening, Mayor. Good to see you.
We'll start with you, Gene. This is your second stint as chairman?
Yes, it is.
What happened? Nobody else wanted a job? You lose another election? Or?
No, what happened was last year we suffered a great loss with the general chairman, Dennis Kogan, who passed away with a long, long battle with cancer. And I just jumped right into a seat and got the parade back on track and put it on the street.
So now you're good fortune to do it again.
Yes.
But the general chairman, I mean, no offense to the grand marshal, but the general chairman's where all the work's done, right?
To a point.
Or the adjutant.
The adjutant really does all the work that year. She's the one, this year is Karen Cunningham. She puts the parade on the street. She does all the hiring of the bands, contracts all the bands. She gets the line of march put together. It's really her ball. My job is a little bit more laid back. I do all the fundraising and stuff like that. Get all of our fundraising efforts, all the fundraising that we do for the year. I oversee most of it.
And Jim, you're the Grand Marshal this year.
Yes.
How did that happen? Tell us a little about yourself first.
Well, it was a big surprise. I was born in Elizabeth, grew up in Hillside, but went to school at St. Catherine's on North Broad Street. And I've kind of kept in touch with the community, the Nugent Association, and knew a lot of police and firemen that were active in the Emerald Society. And I got a call one night that they had put my name on the floor, and a few people remembered me, and it was the nomination was seconded, and I was elected. But asking about myself, I worked for the Newark News originally, way back. You remember that paper?
I do remember. Believe it or not, I'm showing my age, but I do remember that was a Newark Evening News.
The Newark Evening News. When I came out of high school, I started as a photographer in 1958, and then I eventually started to write for the paper, and it went out of business, as you know, in 1972. So I was forced into writing, and I went down to the Asbury Park Press, and I was a reporter there. And at the same time, I started to write for the Irish Echo, which was the premier Irish paper.
It's still out, right?
It's still out, yeah. It was a little, well, better known those days. Circulation was up. And I did the New Jersey column, along with a few other people. There was about 3 Jersey columns. There was a lot of Irish people around. And from that, I stayed there until about 6 years ago, and then started to write a monthly column for the Irish Edition, which is out of the Philadelphia area.
So did you retire from the print business at the Asbury Park Press?
Yes, went into public relations. A lot of the newspaper people do that. They learn how to tell a good story, and then they're hired by industry.
Politicians do the same thing.
They do the same. But I worked for Allied Signal in Morris Township for a short period after the Asbury Park Press. And then I went to Jersey Central Power and Light Company, part of the GPU system, for about 16 years. And I retired from that, and then spent the last 10 in education, doing public relations for the Ocean County Vocational Technical School. So I've had careers all over the place, but I've kept up the Irish.
And you have a family as well, right, Jim?
Yes. Jim, my youngest son, is on the committee. Maybe that had some influence.
You think?
Maybe a little bit.
Do you think he voted for it?
That's what I'm wondering. I wasn't there. I got a phone call down at home. But I have a daughter, Maureen, and a son, Sean, and then our youngest son, Patrick, is in Massachusetts in television. He's a news producer up for the cable network up in New England.
Well, congratulations.
Thanks so much,
spent
Mayor.
tonight's show talking about the St. Patrick's Day Parade. And Gene, you've been involved in the parade from the very beginning, or?
Yes, I have.
And what role did you start off on that?
Boy, I was just a grunt. I was working. I did the golf carts.
So now you get to tell the grunts what to do? Is that how that works?
No, believe it or not, that's the adjutant's job. This year is going to be the first year in 12 years I've actually watched the parade, and I can't wait to do it.
Well, that'll be good. And the duties of the general chairman are telling the adjutant what to do? You have to have some duties here, Gene.
I do the fundraising and overseeing everything. Karen has a complete job. I have complete trust in her, and she does everything. She puts the parade on the street. She hires all the bands. She gets all the marchers, does the line of march.
So is Karen's promotion next year to general chairman? Is that how it usually works? Or what?
No. After this year, I think Karen's going to pack it in.
Oh, she's had enough, huh?
Yeah. But otherwise, you know, I just can't wait. It's going to be my first year I can actually watch the parade from start to finish.
What year is this of the parade?
12th year.
12th year.
Yes.
And Jim, so you're going to be the 12th Grand Marshal of the parade, and you said you were sitting at home when you got the call. What's it like to sit at home and get a phone call that says you're going to be the Grand Marshal of a parade that celebrates your heritage?
It was pretty exciting. I didn't know I was going to get it. They said, "Can we put your name in?" And I got a call from Jen, my daughter-in-law, and Jim, and they said, "You're the Grand Marshal." So I said, "Wow!" And it started to sink in, and they said, "You deserved it." And I said, "Thank you that I didn't make too many enemies in Union County before I went down to the shore." But we've kept in touch with the associations over the years, and I've been connected to the Irish community and knew several of the Grand Marshals before, Monsignor O'Donnell and Peg Cullen, who had an Irish shop in Summit. So we're a tight-knit community, and we keep in touch.
And Jim, you've been active in Irish events. I guess kicking off the parade as the Grand Marshal is not only a personal honor, but it's also an honor for your heritage as well.
Yeah, I think I've covered an awful lot of parades, but now it's sinking in that I got a job to do. I got to lead my people, as I say, up Stuyvesant Avenue, or up Morris Avenue, across Stuyvesant Avenue. But I think that the parade, I've watched it for a few years, and it's very dignified, so I'm very honored to be in a parade like that. It moves and has a rhythm to it and an excitement, and it does reflect our heritage and the contributions of Irish Americans and generations of immigrants. So I'll be representing all those good people and their families.
You know, the Grand Marshal raised a good point there, Gene, one that we probably overlook every year. You don't have a lot of police cars, fire trucks, and everything else stretching out the parade. You have people. That's probably what makes the Union County Parade special.
That's what makes us different from all the other parades in the state. It was the first year a couple people put their objections in. They didn't want apparatus. And the first year it went off, it really looked nice with just people in a parade. You had a couple floats that a couple organizations did, Union Center National Bank, Garden State Cayley Club, to mention two. The floats looked nice. And it really looked nice having no apparatus in, no sirens, it's just a parade with people celebrating our Irish heritage.
And so the duties of the general chairman, you basically told me that all the work is done by the adjutant, but you
Yes.
I know you oversee the fundraising and everything, but do you have to wield a veto once in a while? Do you say we're not doing this?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. A couple times.
That's why the Irish community is always fighting, right?
Oh, yeah, sure. But, you know, it was my understanding because I came up through the ranks as a worker. Then in 2004, I was the adjutant. Then from there, I was a trustee. Then I was elected the second chair, first chair, and this year, general chairman.